Hello everyone, so welcome back to another update, and the last update that I had here on this channel was at the end of March. So I will start actually in my here study plan 2023 by telling you what happened after that. And of course by looking at this I hope you got motivated or inspired, or that you learned something, or maybe you see something that I can do better and then you can help me, right? So this is my study plan Persian 2023, and here on the left side you see that I write down which day, so how many days I've studied. This plan I started at day 238. I write down the date, so which day it is, and I write down a journal, so I can tell you exactly what happened, and I can give you details about what it really takes to learn Persian, you know. And it's not easy. Let me show you here. You can see here on the right side, it says from here the new update, so that's why I'm starting right here. And you see that it already starts with red days. Okay, so this was the last week of my courses. So I'm a Dutch teacher and I give courses of Dutch to foreigners, expats, refugees. And I was traveling to these Dutch courses lately to little villages where these refugees or expats live. And I was listening to Persian in the metro. That's immediately the biggest advice I can give you. The best tip I can ever give you is to download audios of your target languages onto your phone and listen to them in the public transport. So I was doing that, but then after that I didn't give these courses anymore. Okay, so now I teach here in Rotterdam where I live. I go by bike, so suddenly I lost my rhythm, so I had to think of new things. And you see here that I started doing that here. So I write down, I read some of the little texts in the Persian in Use book, and then I got it back to Link. It was great to see Link again, and I feel how easy it is to learn new words there. I read some stories about animals and fire. I read some stories about animal and fire. It was nice to do something different, more random and less serious. So this is my Link profile. And what I started doing since then is first I read some stories of this course. So this is a short story from the book Storybooks Canada Persian, and the words that are used there are quite random. Okay, so for example, let me click on one word. This word here just means my power, or here means what, but it's also about elephants and about all kinds of animals. So it's not necessarily very useful for in real life directly, but I'm using it to actually learn some new words that I haven't seen before. So that's very nice. But what I do as well, and what might be a little bit more useful, is I'm reading these mini stories in formal Persian. Okay, so let's click on one. This one I already read. By the way, if you want to know how Link works, you can check out some tutorials that I put in the description. So this is not a tutorial of Link, but basically I'm just reading these stories. I'm listening to them as well. داستان 15. I'm repeating out loud what I hear sometimes to practice my pronunciation, and I'm also clicking on the words to learn new words. And these stories are written in such a way that they use the most basic vocabulary over and over again, so you can actually learn them by repetition. And you click on these words and make links. That's why it's called Link. Also, this website is in the description, and you can see here that I now know 2,709 words passively. That's very nice, but I need to get up to 5,000 or 6,000 to be able to have like at least a basic conversation nicely without somebody actually speaking super slow for me, or basically being my tutor. Okay, so I can have conversations now, but it needs to be someone that's very, very patient, or it needs to be a tutor. Okay, let's go back to my my diary. Okay, so here you can see it says I'm back to reading Persian now, blah 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 blah, and that's what I've just been doing. Did you see here on the right side that I studied for 0 minutes, 50 minutes, then 0 minutes again? So many days without studying. But I am getting back into the rhythm of actually studying every morning. So instead of listening to things of Persian things into the in the metro, onto my headphones, I'm now actually getting up, doing something in the morning like stretching or running or whatever, and making my coffee, and then with my coffee I read and listen on Link. So I've been doing that since then, all these days that you see on the right side here, that I've actually studied something. That is what I did. And I do notice the following thing. And I will read this to you. So today I started, so this is the 17th of April. Today I started reading a difficult text in Farsi on link, but I cannot understand it and it annoys the hell out of me. I am now, 20 minutes later, reading the formal version of the mini stories and I do get most of it, but it's boring and I want to move on to the juicy texts and the cool history lessons, but I cannot. After 25 minutes, I got into the flow and that was very nice. I started to pick up some more words and I read with more ease. After 3 days of no Farsi, it took me 25 minutes to start enjoying it again. That is a long time. And that is the reason why I should keep at it for just a tiny bit every day. Later I made a small video about how my Farsi is going and I will edit it after. So then a couple of days later, which is actually today, I write down here, look, after that I put subtitles on my Persian video and thereby realized I'm making these mistakes. So I recorded myself speaking Persian. I will upload it very quickly. It will get uploaded today actually. And then this video will be uploaded 2 days later. And I said things like in sal instead of em sal. So like something like the year now or something instead of this year, right? So I'm translating literally from English and Dutch into Persian. That doesn't work. Okay, so I do these things to make sure that I kind of give myself feedback. But also here I notice the same thing as with the stories earlier on, that I'm kind of okay with the basics. You know, I can say basic stuff. I can understand the basic things, but I cannot go into the more intermediate text, into the more interesting stuff, because I don't understand it. So this goes for both conversations and texts and audios, and it even goes for my own monologues. Okay, so I find it like very boring to listen to myself in Persian because I keep using the same words, I keep saying the same things, I keep talking about the same topics because I don't have the vocabulary to go beyond those things. And also getting that vocabulary is very hard because then I have to move on like to the text as I showed earlier, like little animal text or stuff like that. And that's still not very interesting, but it already gets a lot harder. So I can only imagine how hard it must be to actually read a text about history or something. Actually, I did try that for a second on Link, but I really couldn't understand. So that's my level right now. I am an A2, so I can say basic stuff, but the B1 stuff that is very interesting is still very, very hard for me. And that means I'm kind of in between two very important moments. No longer a beginner, no longer to do, and I'm not yet able to do anything in Persian. So now the question is, how do I get beyond that, right? Because basically here I'm just complaining about the same stuff. And now the question is, how do I get beyond this? How can I get better? And how can I really propel myself into this intermediate zone where I can start reading texts like, for example, The Little Prince that I have here, right? But then in Persian, or that I can understand movies and stuff like that. And well, to do that, I have the following plan. I'm going to read the mini stories, the formal mini stories on Link, all of them again. So at least I know that I'm not only familiar with the basics, but I also can understand them instantaneously. And at the same time, I will start doing some things that are not in my comfort zone, which are the following three things. Okay, number one is I'm going to write a transcription. So I'm going to pick an audio, maybe also of the mini stories, and I'm going to write down what I hear. This is really to train my ear to the details, to listen to the details of the Farsi language. Okay, so I'm going to do transcript writing. Number two, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a text. Okay, so I'm going to try to write a text about my daily life or something, so I can really produce sentences in a very let's say rapid manner. Okay, but that's still the basics. Okay, so the third thing and most important thing that I'm going to do is on Link, I'm going to plow through some difficult texts. I'm going to pick one or two about something that I find really interesting, probably the history of Iran, and I'm just going to read it again and again until I understand it. That's the idea, translating the words using the flashcards options on Link, right? So basically I'm going to find a different way to keep looking at the basics, namely by listening to a short audio and writing down what I hear, then checking it with a text, of course, which is called transcript writing. It's a great technique that I also use with my Dutch students. It really works. I'm going to write a text so I have to really think in Farsi, and then I'm going to check it, right? So this is very quality-based, deliberate practice, right? And then I'm going to do more quantity-based learning, because I need to know a lot of words. I will take two big texts and read it until I understand the gist of it, at least. And by doing that, of course, I will I will drive up the number of words that I know in Link, and I'll keep you up to date about how it's going. Please let me know how your language studying is going. I know a few of you, because you keep writing comments. For example, Adam Salami, I know Z, I know M. Axelsen or something like that. So if you're one of these people, then thank you again for watching my videos and commenting on them. If you watched the video until the end, I think I deserve a like and a subscribe. I will keep showing you what it really takes to learn Persian, and I hope you can help me by giving me ideas, sending me resources, and telling me how your studies are going, so we can keep on going with the conversation and help each other, motivate each other, inspire each other, keep learning languages. Khoda Hafiz. I see you when I see you.